Yo, what's happening, people? And we're back again, as always, on your screens. This is Everyone's a Pundit, and we're up to episode 12 now. So, big up to us, big up to all of you guys. Thank you for watching. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, please. I know Pat wants to say smash it, smash it.
I was about to say it. Smash that subscribe button. Smash it.
There you go, man. Please, people, if you're watching the video and you like our content, just always hit that like button because the likes and everything just helps the channel grow.
And share it as well. Share it.
It's a good point, you know.
Copy, paste, and
put it in
your WhatsApp group.
Yeah, WhatsApp group. Share that with your people then, man.
Standard.
Anybody that likes football content, we're just three guys up here giving our fans view, do you know what I mean? Just the title of the show, Everyone's a Pundit, because we're all pundits in our WhatsApp groups. You get me? So we're just here on screen, just doing this thing.
Unfiltered, honest, and, you know.
Honest, and that's what you're going to get today. You're going to get that unfiltered, honest, because I'm a United fan. He's a Spurs fan.
And I'm an
Arsenal fan. There's
you get me? Wait, hold on. Why are you doing that?
Practicing my goal celebration. I score goals, man.
Because that guy doesn't play for Arsenal.
No, but I'm practicing my goal celebration.
Okay.
Listen, let me finish with the introductions. Getting into it already, you know. If you're listening on the Soundcloud, again, share with your people and follow and all of that, because I know some people like the audio when they're in their cars, when they're traveling on the train or whatever. But let's get straight into it, man. I'm Semps. The socials are going to be up on the screen here. And then to my right, we have
Patrick Tyron, aka Young Swaggy Daniels. When you see the T, see the P. When you see the P, you know it represents T.
And to my left, you done know already,
Mr. Jason Alex, boom bam bing, new thing.
Okay, come on. All right. Boom bang bing, you know.
Nah, this guy's gassed today, boy. Boom, bang, bing, bing, boom. What's this? Think you're from the Flintstones or something?
New thing.
Jesus.
Oh, boy.
This is football. I'm coming with some new thing. I prefer the come on part personally, but
Something we have to change.
that's just me. But you know what? In today's episode, we're gonna talk about we're gonna just talk about some hot topics at the moment, which is Man United and Ole, Spurs and Pochettino, and then obviously we're recording on Sunday night, so it's straight after all the games.
Fresh off the press.
There you go. So obviously Man City held a mad L today.
Man City held some corn, boy.
Yeah, so we're gonna touch on that, and then we've also introduced question time that we're gonna have every single week now. So we've got a few questions that people have asked that we're gonna put to the panel here, and we're gonna answer those.
Let's do this.
You know what? Let's get straight into it. And boy, let's start with Spurs, because people have been looking for Pat all week, boy.
Listen, I mean, I picked the worst week to go like. To go viral almost, like not viral, but basically to go live. If you guys are following us on the socials, you would have saw that I was at the game on Tuesday. So I was recording live, you know, like I was in the ground recording before the game, and you know, doing a countdown and talking about the stadium and whatnot. And obviously, I was looking forward to the game, big game against a big team. Like, yeah, let's turn up, you know what I mean? Let's start our season properly.
And then what happened,
and obviously,
what happened?
First home game, we get smashed 7-2, and it was horrible. I mean, I've never seen, obviously, every team can get beat, but to lose in that manner, it was crazy. And as I said on the day, the crazy thing about it is that up until half-time, we were in that game. We were actually,
What was the score at half-time again?
It was 2-1 to them.
2-1 to them.
We were the better team in the first half.
And you took the lead.
Yeah, we took the lead. We should have scored a few more. Ndombele had basically he was through, not through one-on-one, but he was squared the ball, should have scored. Son should have scored before he scored. And there was another chance where he should have squared the ball to Kane or Dele on the back post. He didn't, took a tame shot. So anyway, we should have had at least 3 or 4 goals. It was 1-1, we switched off, they scored, it was 2-1 just before half-time. And then obviously in the second half.
Or just done.
Yeah, it was just, what did you say?
Oh yeah. Not Aurea, Serge Gnabry, sorry. Not Aurea.
What Aurea did do was, because he was shocking defensively, he was all over the place. He's a wing back, and he was just literally up the pitch the whole game.
So I tell you what, so I've had a big debate with one of our friends called Mr. Patrick today, and he believes that Aurier. He said that he didn't have no protection, and he wasn't. I'm not blaming the right back. He says
What? Nah,
Yeah.
he was all over the shop.
That's what I thought.
I was watching the. Well, I mean, everyone's watching the game. Everyone's got their own. But from what I saw, he was out of position every single time. You're a right back. You're a wing back. Your first job is to defend. You're a defender. You know, you're in the back four for a reason. And the way he was out of position, it was shocking. And a lot of times he's been bailed out by Sissoko. But Sissoko obviously had a job to do as well. They've got a good team. So Sissoko can't bail him out every single time because he's also got his own defensive duties. And he got caught lacking a few times. And against a good team like that, you can't get caught out. You're going to get punished. And to be fair, every shot they took literally went in. They
were clinical.
Yeah, they had the finesse on, boy. Yeah, they were on it. But at the end of the day, there was no protection in front of our back four as well. And yeah, we just got punished.
So did Poch, because we're hearing this a lot, so did Poch get the tactics wrong
100%.
on that day?
The diamond doesn't work, you know what I mean? The diamond doesn't work. We don't have, if you play a diamond, you've got to have a worldy DM sitting in front of those defenders, because otherwise you're just going to get caught out.
And who played there in the week?
Harry Winks played there, and he got caught out not every single time, but he got caught out a lot. And then obviously once he got caught, they were counting on us every single time, and they were picking the right part. This is the difference. They were picking the right pass every single time.
Top quality team. This is Champions League.
Champions League. Gnabry was running at Toby. It looked like Toby was literally stuck in quicksand. It looked like he was going back in time. He was just he literally couldn't get near the guy. And there's a time when you have to commit, and either you take the guy out or you take the ball. And he just kept backing off, and then Gnabry was just literally picking each corner, and he was scoring.
So you lot lose 7-2 at home to Bayern Munich in the Champions League, and then you fast forward. Was it 4 days? And then you lose 3-0
away to Brighton.
And
it's like that game was the perfect game to bounce back. After a 7-2 shocker, all the fans want to see is our players come out, you know what I mean, back to business, back to basics, and get a result.
So what's the problem? What's going on, Pat?
There's a lot of problems, man. I think, where do I start? Do you know what I mean? I'll start from I think Pochettino was messed up in regards to his tactics and team selections. In the summer, there was a lot of murmurings. From the beginning, when he said that, if we won the Champions League, I may have literally called it quits and walked away. That doesn't fill the fans, and it doesn't fill, even forget the fans, it doesn't fill your players with confidence that you're.
An odd thing to come out.
It doesn't. Imagine. Imagine my boss turning around and saying, "No, if I would have got this deal, if I would have secured that job, I wouldn't be here anymore." You're like, hold on, you're my boss. You're meant to be my motivator, and you're the way you're talking, you're not in it 100%.
But do you think that's because he's saying this because of other issues that's going on behind the scenes, potentially with Levy?
It don't matter though. If you're in the job for, you're there. Either you're in it 100% or you're not. You can't be saying to guys, if I would have won that, I would have walked, because it then shows that you're not really 100% committed to the job.
So you think he's half-hearted at the moment?
I think he's half-hearted. His tactics as well. His team selections are very dodgy, and the reason why I say this is because you know that you had, for example, you had your issue with Vertonghen where you dropped him before the start of the season. He was playing the whole preseason, then you dropped him literally before the season started. Then obviously you brought him back in. So what does that do to a player? Then secondly, you had the whole Eriksen debacle. The guy, you come out and said that if he doesn't sign an extension or he doesn't think, then he's going to be phased out. The guy didn't start the first game against Aston Villa or whatever it was at home. We were struggling, and then you bring him on. To his credit, Eriksen had a great game in that last 20 minutes or whatever. But then it made the team look like we need Eriksen.
Yeah.
So this is then you got a player that doesn't really want to be there.
But the thing is Aston Villa was a little while ago now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the point is that Eriksen now is in a thing where he doesn't want to be at the club, and you can see it's almost like you got a disinterested player who's like Eriksen's too professional to sulk, but I'm not seeing the Eriksen I used to see in it. because he's not really committed to being there.
So what do you do if you're Poch? Do you then drop him
if you're
permanently? And
Pochettino, if you are allegedly, Pochettino's meant to be a guy that's ruthless and that's either one his way or the other. But right now, he's not really being. I don't know what he is, because 1 minute he's meant to be this ruthless tactician and somebody who, it's my way or the highway. You get behind me or you don't play, and you're a pressing guy and this and that. But right now, I'm seeing. I don't know what I'm seeing, because Eriksen. If it's a case where you've got one away players such as Eriksen, Toby, and Jan Vertonghen, they shouldn't be in the team. Yeah. You either take a stance, you either stick with your stance or you don't. You don't, like, you're wishy-washy. 1 minute Eriksen's starting, the next minute he's not. Then you're playing him for 15 minutes. Then and you can see that it's not working. So you either play him or, to be fair, you shouldn't be playing him. I personally think.
But don't you think that is a small part of what's going wrong at Spurs at the moment? The Eriksen because look, the team that you had out at Brighton is good enough to put up, and listen, personally, that performance was worse. That's probably as bad as I've seen Spurs play in a very, very long time.
I'd say our bench, we had Dele Alli on the bench, we had Harry Winks on the bench.
Yeah, because Dyer started in the DM, didn't he?
Yeah, and we also had, who else we had? And Lucas Moura. Those three guys alone, there's enough talent in there on the bench than the whole Brighton starting 11. No disrespect to Brighton, but Brighton are not a good team. And I'll put that in context. They had scored 2 goals. In the whole season, they had scored 2 goals before. Brighton had scored 2 goals in the previous 6 or 7 games before they played us. And they scored 3 goals in that one game. And to be fair, they could have scored a few more even. So that just goes to show how bad we were. But I know you said it's a small part of the problem, but it's a big part of the problem, because you've got players in the team that don't want to be there. And they don't want to play. And naturally, like in anything, if I'm going to work and my heart's not in it, I'm not going to give my best performance. And it slowly starts to seep into the team. And then you get what you're getting now. You get half-hearted players that are not playing. And in football, there's fine lines. And even the best players, if they're not 100% on it, they're not going to go out there and give their all. And then obviously you get what's happening now. Defensive frailties, lapses in concentration, Hugo Lloris having another clanger at the beginning of the game. And then you just get all these things, and slowly but surely it saps the confidence. Even the best players in the world, if you're not confident and you don't have that, I mean, look at Dyer. Dyer come in, he looked like he'd never played football before.
Dyer's not good anyway.
The ball was pinging off it. But even if you're not good, Semps, like you can
should do better. Yeah, you're a professional footballer, innit?
You're a
should still be.
Footballer. You see 17, 18-year-olds coming into a team for a game, and they can still control the ball and move it around. Yeah. So you've got a lot of issues, but I think Pochettino's tactics and team selection is a big issue. Players that don't want to be there and they're still playing, that's a big issue. And then obviously the confidence from mistakes and previous mishaps seeking in, that's a big issue as well.
Jace, do you got any questions for Pat? I know you must have some questions for Pat.
Are you Poch out?
Huh?
Are you Poch out?
Listen, I've got so much love and admiration for Poch, so I'll never be Poch out. But I do think
hit him again, Jay. Hit him again.
But I think we need
hit him again, Jay. Hit him again, man.
So you think he needs to leave?
I think that Poch. I think that it's time.
Are you Poch out?
So you Poch out?
Listen. Let me explain myself. Yeah, I think it's time for Pochettino to go now. I think, like, from what I'm seeing, yeah, it looks like it's almost. It looks like a stale marriage. It looks like 2 partners that are falling out of love with each other, but they're still together for the sake of the kids. And they're like, oh, Sally, let's wait until Tommy's started secondary school before we split up. It's like they're not really in it for the right reasons anymore.
Yeah.
And
so I just Poch out. Then.
So Patrick's Poch out, by the way.
No. Listen, I just think
no.
If Tottenham are a big club,
are you Poch in? You Poch? Is he one or the other in it, Jay?
That's what I'm saying.
It's either Poch in or Poch out.
I think it's time for Pochettino to go.
So you Poch out?
I'm not going to say that because obviously, like I said, I've got a lot of respect for Poch, and I think Pochettino has done wonders for us, and he's taken us from where we were to now being, labelled and expected to be. We're a big club now.
But you want him gone now.
Yeah, I think if Tottenham are like in any other big club, if Pochettino had done what he's doing in regards to, we haven't won away on the road in the whole of 2019. This is 9 months gone on 10 months. Yeah. We've got 22 points in the last 20 games. We're not playing good football anymore. We're not There's no pressing, there's no intensity. A lot of the things that made Pochettino, he's not doing anymore. Any other big club, Poch would have been gone by now. Let's be real, innit?
So, how many players you got that's going to be out of contract next summer?
We've got 3 players that are out of contract next summer. You've got Toby Alderweireld, we've got Yamba Tonga, and we've got Ericsson. And again, that is something that it's been badly managed.
So that's like 4. That's 4 players you said there, isn't it?
Three. I said 3.
Toby,
Yamba Tonga,
and Ericsson.
Is that it? I thought there was more.
Yeah, no, that's it. Those are the 3 players that are literally out of contract in the summer. And again,
So you've got to replace those players, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got to replace them or obviously re-sign them. But to be fair, and this is another issue. When I was looking at it today, I saw in terms of squad recycling or improving the squad or freshening up the squad, we've still got, I think from the 2013-14 season, we've still got 7 or 8 players in our squad. I looked at it, and Man City still only have 2 players left.
Yeah, they showed that on Match of the Day, innit?
Liverpool have 3.
3, yeah.
And it's just like
that's
become stale.
Yeah, that's how we were, boy.
And these guys get tired of listening to the same message. They get tired of doing the same thing over and over. And you need to freshen up the squad.
I don't think it's tired of listening to the same message. Because Fergie was able to do it for a long period of time. So was Wenger.
They're winning things.
That's true.
When you're not winning things, it gets a bit jarring.
Yeah.
Imagine this guy making you. I mean, they allegedly they do double training sessions. Poch pushes them to the limit. And when you're winning things, you can't argue with it because it's bringing success and it's bringing results. But when you're not winning, and I'm just being honest, we haven't won anything. So we've been so close on so many times. But maybe these guys are looking at it like, do I really want to do this for this guy?
But then couldn't you argue that, like, I'm pretty sure I heard that his net spend is 87 million in the whole time that he's been there.
Correct.
So could you not argue that whilst you've not been winning trophies and stuff, he has done a phenomenal job, and even those players should recognise that.
This is why I allude to I'm not Poch out in the sense of
you are Poch out though.
I think it's time for a change. I think we need to freshen up. I think
You're
we need
Poch
a new
out
manager.
though.
I think we need a manager that
That's Poch
is
out.
proven
He's Poch out.
that can come in and win things. But,
you can't look. I know what you're saying. You respect what he's done.
Yeah.
But now you're Poch out.
Listen,
You're Poch out now.
It's okay to say it.
I don't want to be one of these guys because I'm coming with.
But
valid
you are
reasons.
one of them guys.
I'm not one of them guys. I'm not just saying.
You're
Poch out.
You're coming with a reason.
Good reason.
Yeah. You've explained yourself.
It's
You know,
Say it for the sake of it.
Yeah, for everybody that's watching,
it's heartbreaking
he
to
is
say,
Poch
man,
out, but he
just doesn't wanna say it.
doesn't want to be one of these flip-flop fans or
exactly,
ones that
that's
have no
it.
context. But everybody has their reasons for why they think a manager should go.
I think it's come to that time, man. And obviously they're saying, I've got friends saying, and fans that are hitting me up saying, let's wait till the new window. We need to back Poch, but we haven't backed Poch. And if it's Daniel Levy at the helm, it's going to be the same old saying. But I just think Pochettino he's a young manager as well. He's come in, before he came to Tottenham, he had done wonders at Southampton, but he was also unproven. And he's made a lot of mistakes. And people need to realise that Pochettino is not bulletproof and he has to be held accountable for his mistakes as well. It's not just the players. He's also let himself down.
Personally, I think the buck does stop with the manager.
Unfortunately.
Because you look at Liverpool and you look at City, and the manager's the one who gets the plaudits for how they play and everything. So when the team when it goes wrong, for me the buck has to stop with the manager. But with that said, you use the work analogy, which is something I use all the time with regards to football, and that could also be the same for Poch in the sense that he is still an employee of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
Yeah.
And if his bosses, i.e. the people upstairs, Daniel Levy and that, are not delivering on what he expects them to deliver, then he's also going to be unmotivated to go into work. And then
do the right thing and step, innit? Do the right thing and gracefully bow out.
Yeah, so you can't say that.
I can say that.
But you're not even Poch out, and you're going to say that to him.
Don't be half-hearted. Be real, innit? Be a man. If you're not really on it anymore, and like I said, and this is what annoys me, because he said, if we won the Champions League, I don't think... What are you talking about? You're either in it or you're not. I don't want this 50-50 stuff, because the same reason why the fans are getting onto Ericsson, Pochettino's also coming out with wishy-washy statements. So either you're on it or you're not. If Levy's not giving you the tools and you're not happy, then be a man and step in and say, listen, you either fulfill your promises or I'm going to walk away.
So, one last question that I got for you then, Pat, is, and then I'll ask Jason if he's got any more questions for you, but do you think that Spurs are then like on the brink of going backwards? Are you like in danger of going backwards if you lose Poch?
No, and this is another thing that, I mean, people act like Pochettino is the only manager that can bring us success. He's not. There's good managers out there, and there's also managers that could also maybe take that step that Pochettino hasn't taken. Yes, Pochettino, I do rate highly. I think he's a great manager. I think he's done wonders for our club. But he's not the only guy in the world that can bring us success.
But
because I've seen
87 million net spending the whole time he's been there. If another manager comes in and has that same
But I
same
don't think it'll
thing,
be the same circumstances because we were also going through different things in different periods, like obviously the stadium and this and that. So now realistically,
the stadium's is a new thing. What was the issues for not spending in his early years?
I don't know about the issues of not spending, but what I'm saying is that the stadium build was going on for 2 or 3 years, so there's a lot of money getting funded into that.
I suppose.
So I don't think if a new manager comes in, he's going to have that shoestring budget.
Okay.
And I do accept that Pochettino has done wonders, but you know, I even saw someone say the other day, "Poch goes, I go." I'm like, you're a fan of Tottenham or you're a fan of Pochettino?
But this is the same thing Arsenal fans have with Arsenal Wenger.
Like, if Poch goes, I go.
It's like you're a Wenger fan or an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, exactly.
You get them? So these
And
fans, they're just not serious when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, and like like I said, I admire Pochettino, I respect Pochettino, but I can also see that there are faults in this marriage, and there's also issues in this marriage, and sometimes you've got to do the right thing and walk away.
Okay, so basically, do you have any other questions for him, Jay?
No.
Nah, you see. So basically, Patrick Tyrant, young Swaggy Daniels, when you see the T, you see the P. When you see P, you know it represents T. You know that guy on my right?
Yeah.
He's Poch out, but he doesn't want to say it because he admires the manager. But he is Poch out, and you also believe that if you get a new manager, there's other good managers out there, and that you can just start a new chapter
Exactly.
for you guys.
It's a gamble, of course it is, and I know some people are scared of change. We all know what Pochettino can do on his heyday. We all know he's a great guy. We all know what he's capable of. But also at the same time, things can become stagnant. Things can become stale, and we could also go backwards under Pochettino. You know, it doesn't mean if Poch stays, we're going to keep progressing and progressing.
Okay.
So you've got to look at it both ways, in my opinion.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what do you think? Do you agree with Pat that it's time for Pochettino to now leave, that Spurs can attract a good manager to take them forward rather than going backwards? And what are your views, man? It's a really interesting point that we're at now with Spurs. They're sort of at that crossroads sort of moment in their development. You know, it's mad how things changed, that we were all talking about power shift. I think it was episode 4 or 5. And then now it's really,
But again,
we have to put all of that to bed at the moment.
Into context, even though we've had a shocking start to the season.
Was I right then?
No, you're not. Because
no
Power shift.
No power shift.
Was I right?
I don't think so. Because the season's far from over. We've only played 8 games. Like, we're only 3 points behind you, and we've been obviously in shocking form. Things can change so quickly.
They may not even finish top 4 at this rate.
Yeah, and even may Arsenal. Like, it's not guaranteed.
That's true.
It's not like, you know, obviously Arsenal fans are sitting on a high perch at the moment, and that's cool. And I've even said to
Jason,
a few, I know.
Cameron, look at Jason's face.
Like,
I'm happy, but I'm happy, but I'm not happy. But that's the next thing. Anyway.
Get your digs in now. Obviously, I don't think, you know, we're at our lowest right now, isn't it? So get your digs in and stuff. But I'm sure we can only get better. So.
Well, you say that, but who knows, boy. Anyway, leave us your comments, and if you haven't already, hit the like button. If you're new again and you're just watching for the first time and you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, and as I said, leave us the comments on what you think. And then we're gonna get into Man United. Been madness, so there's madness going on at Spurs and there's madness going on at Old Trafford at the moment. Man United are on a madness. I'm going to give Jason a chance to speak before I start, because I'm guessing you got something to say. He walked in today and was so confident and cocky and everything.
Yeah, I just said that the mood felt kind of low. You get me? These two, so Just want to find if they were
But
alright.
I was fine, but I was alright.
Yeah, I was alright as well. I just was doing some work, you know what I mean? That's all it was, Jay. That was all
What's
it
your
was.
club saying, though?
Huh?
What's your club saying?
Boy, so I've said anyway, I said it last week on here, when Pat thought that we will go to Newcastle and we'll get 3 points. And I said, I don't know why you're so confident. We ain't won on the road now since, I think it's February. The last time, is that when we played PSG?
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
And we ain't won on the road since then. And I said we've played teams like Newcastle in that time. We're at the moment, and I didn't see today's game. I was at another christening, but this time I refused to put my Sky Go on. I said, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not even wasting my data. And yeah, man, from what I can understand, it wasn't like we got outplayed or anything like that. But the problems that I've been talking about is the football's boring and we're not creating chances. And if you're not creating chances and the football's boring and you always, if you can't score goals, you're always going to give a chance for the opposition to score. Yeah,
Make a win. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what's going to happen. People can try and banter and throw shade on Harry Maguire and talk about the price tag and everything, but he can only do so much in it. And the fact is as well is that defensively, Man United are good this season. We don't concede many chances. But if you're not scoring goals at the other end, you are going to concede chances. It doesn't matter how good you are. You're going to concede chances. And at the moment, boy, we have huge problems with regards to the tactics that's being deployed. We can't hide away from the fact that, you know, many people think that we had a poor team anyway. We had a poor squad.
Yeah.
But on top of that, we have bare injuries.
A lot of injuries.
Yeah. And even Lindelof was out today.
Yeah.
He wasn't on the bench, so I can only guess that was an injury as well. It's an injury as well.
Saka, no Lindelof, Pogba, Martial, Lingard.
Yeah.
That's 5 starters.
Yeah, and this is the point. Like, Ollie already had a hard job as it was, and then now he's got the injuries. So you got 2 different types of United fans at the moment. You've got the United fan that's saying, what is he meant to do? You look at that starting 11 and it was poor. What's he really meant to do? You know, if he has his first team out every week, then you can judge him and all of that sort of stuff. Me personally, I'm like, a lot of people talked about passion and work rate and everything. You've got all of these players. I said it on another podcast. You know, in another game, I think it was against West Ham, we had all of those type of players. It just goes to show that you need quality. But on top of that, you need a coaching, you need a way of playing. We can hide behind injuries, we can hide behind the Glazers, we can hide behind all of those excuses. But if you can't create a chance or create a number of chances to beat a Newcastle team that got spanked 5-0 the other day, and that is a lot of people's tip to go down, is managed by Steve Bruce, all the banter wheels flying, then there has to be questions labelled at your door as the management and the coaching staff, because it's the same thing. It doesn't matter whether we play Newcastle, it doesn't matter whether we play Rochdale, Astana away, it doesn't matter who we're playing at the moment, we're not creating enough chances. And because of that, we're not going to win football matches.
I mean, I watched the game and... I mean, Newcastle pretty much the only shot on target in the second half is what they scored from. So they didn't test you guys, but then also you guys didn't test them.
Yeah,
I don't remember
their keeper making.
I don't remember in the second half. I don't remember making a save. The black card. I can't say.
And this is it. Is every game did their keeper make loads of saves? And the answer has to be no.
But what I want to know is, when Solskjaer took over, you guys went on a run, 14 games straight.
Yeah, 14, 15 games.
Now, he must have been doing something right for that to happen. So what has gone wrong?
So at the time, you heard a lot of people come out and say that he's not had enough time to come in and implement his style. So that was well documented, at the time. Yeah. He's not had enough time. We was playing a 4-3-3 and we was playing an attacking, and we had Pogba left of the 3. In the midfield, we had Herrera and we had Matic, and them lot was doing their thing. We had Martial, Rashford, and Lukaku.
Yeah.
Was it Lukaku? Yeah. No,
Lukaku was on the bench, but
no,
he was
it wasn't Lukaku. Sorry, it would have been Lingard, Martial, and Rashford. It was those were the front three, and we was doing a thing. And then for me, what my theory is obviously he's caretaker manager, so he's got a bit of freedom.
Yeah.
Right.
And Jose's just gone, so the players have got a bit of freedom now, and you know that you've got that new manager sort of energy. And then we just started playing football, like attacking, free flowing. The players are expressing themselves. I said, you saw Matic. I remember I got gassed because we beat, what was it? It wasn't Leicester. Was it Leicester? The first game? No, it's Cardiff. That's it. We beat them 4-0. I think it was.
Okay.
And the people saying it's only Cardiff, and I was like, no. Matic was playing the ball forward. It was little things like that I was noticing. Whereas before under Jose, it was always sideways. Under playing the ball forward, and then I'm like, you know, Rashford's doing flick flacks and scoring. Pogba's getting in the box and scoring.
It's like the shackles had come off.
The shackles came off, and then what I think happened, we then started to get injuries. Herrera got injured. Mata got injured. We got bare injuries against Liverpool, and it all changed then. Because from the injuries, we stopped playing the 4-3-3 attacking, and then we started to defend. And then we then started to see the style of play that we're seeing now, the more defensive, counter-attacking type of football. And then he got the job. And I think that he's got the job and he's got a little bit scared. And he's forgot about free flowing, and he's just playing it cautious. Trying to be more cautious. Because we have not played what got him the job. We have not played that way since. No. We've not played that way since.
I remember when you guys came to Wembley last year and you beat us 1-0. And you guys were so free flowing in that game.
Compact.
Compact. And you hit us on the counter
attack.
But you looked good.
When we was hitting teams on the break, then we were hitting teams properly.
Yeah, definitely.
But we are not playing that way anymore. You know, at the moment we're sticking to this 4-2-3-1, 2 defensive midfielders every single game. We're at home to Crystal Palace and we're playing 2 defensive midfielders. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, why don't you go back to the 4-3-3? More attacking. Why? And now we've got a better defence. You would expect that we can then be a little bit more expansive. So I think he got a little bit cautious. He then got the job. Or the players were playing thinking that he's not going to get the job, maybe expecting another manager to come in. And then when he did get the job, they thought, oh, no, I'm not feeling this. Do you know what I mean?
You never know, you know. I've never thought of it like that.
You never know. You never know, you know.
That's interesting.
For me at the moment, with regards to Ole, I think that we're in a very, very, very sticky situation. And the main reason is that we're now sitting 2 points off the relegation zone. Yes, it's 8 games, but
so tight,
after 8 games, we should not be there. The team is still good enough to be playing better football than what we're playing.
100%.
And you know, I'm now taking. I was gassed before. I'm not gonna lie. So many people was telling me, Ole's gonna get sacked before Christmas.
Do you believe that?
Sacked before Christmas.
Do you believe that?
Until today, I even up until yesterday and in the week, I'm saying he won't get sacked before Christmas. After today, I can now start to think to myself, you know what, this could happen, because we can't just keep losing all of these games on the road, and then even our home games we're not winning.
And you know when you guys play Liverpool, are they home or away?
We're home. I said before, innit, we play all our big games at home first.
Okay.
It's only Man City that we play away.
Do you think if you guys get spanked by Liverpool, do you think that could be the end?
It could well be the end for him. Who knows, innit? Who knows? Yeah. Who knows what's going on there? But it could well be the end, man. Because I said last week, I think we will get 1 point out of those 2 games. Now it's looking like we're gonna get no points. And then depending on you know, if we get no points next week, and I think who is it? Is it Everton that's in the bottom?
International break the week after.
Yeah, the week after. Sorry, I think it's Everton that are on 7 points at the moment. You know, and then if they win and we don't win, then we could drop into the bottom 3.
No, it's so tight at the moment. It's crazy. Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then what's that really saying? And then what, you're gonna then start talking about injuries and all of that. You have to then look at have to look at yourself and think, what is really going on at the Manchester United Football Club right now? Yes, don't get me wrong. I think there's bigger problems than Ole. The board and everything, the whole structure of Man United is a problem. Ole was always up against it. LVG's come and failed. Jose's come and failed. But at the moment, you know, taking my legend blinkers off, you know, just trying to be real now. And I love Ole and I want him to succeed. But what has he done in football to suggest that he's going to be able to build us?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? What's he done?
He failed at Cardiff, if we're being real. He failed at Cardiff.
He done well in
Molder.
He done well,
Molder.
But that's different league,
I know.
innit?
But when he was at Cardiff, he didn't have the know-how.
He lost how many games in a row?
I can't remember, but he wasn't good.
Yeah,
because even the Cardiff fans wanted him out.
Yeah. And look, we are the Cardiff fans.
Yeah. When he was managing Cardiff.
Serious?
He lost bare games.
He was awful, bro. They wanted him out.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So at the moment, it's really, really sticky. I think the fans that say trust the process. Even one of my guys, he's broken down today, boy. He's been talking trust the process all week and everything, and then today he's a little bit like, you know what I mean? But all the guys that are still saying trust the process, believe in the manager, all of this stuff, it's just purely on the fact of hope and because it's Ole. Because if we're just breaking it down into logistics and looking at it like as it is, Ole hasn't done anything in football to suggest this. And this is the point I tried to make to a guy today. I'm like, you got certain people that are comparing him to Sir Alex Ferguson and the bad run that Fergie had and everything.
Okay.
But Fergie was already a marksman before he come to Manchester United. You know what I'm saying? He'd won European championships with Aberdeen, and he was doing bits.
Yeah.
So he had the CV. When Klopp came to Liverpool, Klopp has already got a CV with Dortmund of badding up things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Pep struggled in the first year with City, but you saw straight away how he wants them to play. You saw it. You saw his philosophy, and he has a CV. At the moment, if somebody was to switch on the TV and watch Manchester United, what is Ole's philosophy? What is he trying to do? At the moment, no one can't tell you.
I saw one of my guys, Big Up Biggs. He's a big Man United fan, and he was saying that he was annoyed because Ole says that he's invested in youth and because some of the guys aren't performing. So why aren't the youngsters starting?
Yeah, so there's a lot of arguments with regards to that, and some are valid. Is that you don't want to throw these kids in and ruin them early doors, but at the same time, needs must in my eyes. And if they're good enough, because you see that you lot played Saka against us, man played well. Yeah. And if they're good enough, you see your boys. I have to just be real. You see Arsenal's youngsters in the week, and they look good, man. You know, against was it Standard Liège?
Yeah.
You know, they look good. And then you look at ours, and our youngsters, even my man Mason Greenwood, looking kind of average. But then that's down to the football that we are playing. That's down to the coaching. Nobody knows what they're doing. You got one man that might start to press and nobody's pressing with him. You got Pogba that gets the ball, he looks up, there's nobody to pass to. You know what I'm saying? It's just all a mishmash at the moment. So, yeah, man, it's like, I'm saying there's no point in sacking Ole now because who are we going to get?
There's no one out there,
There's not,
really?
this is what I'm saying. So, it's sort of like we're just kind of stuck with him, but now it is possible that he could get sacked before Christmas because I don't actually see how we actually turn this around.
But then who would you bring in?
That's what Semps just said.
Yeah, there's no one, and that's why I'm just like, I'm not really Ole out because there's no point being Ole out because who are we gonna bring in? Do you know what I mean? What we probably need to do, people, is. Or what the United man them need to do, they need to get on the blower to Pochettino and be like, you know what, Poch, well done, man. The operation is working. You're doing your best to get out of there. We just need you to lose a few more games and then we can all just make this thing happen.
Man.
You get me? And that's what we need to do because ideally, a Poch would be a great a great acquisition for us, and then he can bring over Harry Kane and certain next man. Yeah, I mean,
Gone
but
too far, bro.
look, man, what do you guys think? If there's any United fans, I'd be interested to know what your brethren, Mr. Biggs, is saying. If he watches this, do you agree with me, or what do you think?
I'm gonna hit him up.
Yeah, man. Like, what do you reckon? Is it Ole out? Is Ole to blame? Is it the board to blame? Is it that the United team is poor and the squad's poor, that a lot of people thought as to why Ole's not performing? So let us know what you think in the comments section below. And then I don't know how long we got left to 50. Okay, cool. So we're gonna jump into question time now.
Okay.
We're gonna jump into question time. And let's see what some. So we've got a few questions from a couple of the man them. So the first one that I will ask is from _ Joshua Austin on Instagram, and he says, who do you think will get sacked first, Marco Silva or Pochettino? I'll ask Jason this question first.
Probably Marco Silva.
You reckon Marco Silva, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Pat?
Yeah, Marco Silva. I don't think there's any comparison between the two, really. Marco Silva will.
It's funny because this question came in early in the day, so I'm wondering what this question would have looked like had it been after the United game, because you could well add Ole into that mix now.
Could do, yeah.
And I would say again, Marco Silva will get.
You'll say Marco Silva.
I think out of the three, I think Pochettino would be the least to get sacked.
Yeah, I think so.
You reckon?
Yeah. Looking at how Tottenham operate in terms of and what.
Because they would have to pay him off, innit?
Yeah.
A big P.
But the thing is, people say that's the same in any.
Yeah, it's true.
Any manager that gets sacked, they gotta get paid out. I hear what you're saying, but it happens all the time. It's not really something to talk about because that happens when a manager signs a contract. They sign it for their stability and security as well. So, but yeah, Marco Silva out of those two or three.
Boy, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to go Marco Silva as well. The question I'm going to answer, I reckon Marco Silva will get sacked first. So another question is going to be at you, Pat.
Okay.
So it's this is on Twitter.
Yeah.
D_man_ice.
Okay.
He's sort of hit a few questions in one. Yeah. So he says, is Poch or Levy the problem at Spurs? Does the club keep faith with Poch or sack him? Mourinho and Allegri odds have been slashed at the bookies to take over. Would that be a good move? What do you reckon?
Okay, all right. So first one is Poch or Levy to blame, right?
Yeah.
I think they both need to be held accountable. Pochettino for his tactics and his management of the squad right now. Because like I said earlier, if you have players that don't want to be there or you knew they were going to cause issues, then you shouldn't play them. And even if we lose a couple of games, you get into a system that with players that want to be there, instead of having these half-hearted guys who then start exerting this negative energy onto the others. So Pochettino's to blame in that sense. Levy's to blame if he hasn't backed Pochettino with the players that he promised that he would, or that he didn't help Poch in his rebuild of the team like Pochettino wanted. So they're both to blame in that sense. Hopefully that answers that one.
Yeah, and does the club keep faith with him then? Well, you've already answered this in your thing.
Yeah, does the club keep faith?
You say Poch is to be sacked.
Yeah.
So we can move on from that. And would you take Mourinho or Allegri?
I wouldn't take Mourinho. No chance, no way. I know he's a proven winner, but I just don't like all the afters that come with it.
Yeah.
But Allegri, 100%.
Yeah.
Proven winner, great tactician. He's done everything you can ask of from a manager. He's won like 5 or 6 Serie A's. He's won like 4, Coppa, whatever they call them in Italy. Yeah, he's taken he's gone to 2 Champions League finals and lost. But other than that, he's a fantastic manager, and I'd take him in a heartbeat. Cool. Definitely.
All right, and then another one I'll open up to the floor. This is a good one actually. This is by Jim Mode Official on Instagram. He asks, or the company asks, can you guys tell us which 3 players you are enjoying watching the most right now, and which 3 teams? Yeah, very good question.
Yeah, good question, man. Very good question.
So I'll ask Jason.
Which 3 players?
3 players you enjoying watching at the moment?
Which 3 teams I enjoy watching?
Yeah, so start with the players first.
Saka, that's not me being biased. I enjoy watching him. Sterling, because he just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my third... Oh, my third. Probably Mane.
Mane, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Pat, what would you say?
Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, I think that speaks for itself. He's classy, can do it all. The guy sees a picture before anyone else. I think he's brilliant. Who else I love watching? I like watching Son because of his work rate and his intensity. No matter what's going on around him, he always tries his best. And I love that. I commend a guy that is always willing to put his all in, irrespective of what's happening around him. And thirdly, that's a really good question. I'm going to go with Wan-Bissaka. I love watching him defensively, how he always gets the right side of a player and no one can beat him. And I mean, I love watching a defensive masterclass as much as I like watching attacking football.
Yeah.
And I think that guy is quality. So, yeah, those would be my three.
Yeah, so I would say my three at the moment, I would include Wan-Bissaka in that. Until he got injured, he's been absolutely class. He's been A1. Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, baller.
Bernardo Silva is one of my... He's just grown on me. He's grown on me. At the moment, Sterling last season, Sterling hasn't really hit the heights so far this season for me. But yeah, I would actually say Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne probably more than any other player at the moment. If I'm gonna include international as well, he's just been sublime. So yeah, they're my three players. And then if I was to give you the three teams is really difficult because so many people are thinking.
I'll answer quickly then. I like watching Norwich because you either get goals or conceded goals.
Yeah, true.
So I love that. Liverpool because they're gutsy, and even if they don't play well, you know they're gonna always try and get. I love their attitude, to be honest, because they go to win every game, and even if it's not through playing the exciting and beautiful football that they know they can play, they still get a win.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, I don't know about my third team.
For me, it would be, I can't say that I can ever really enjoy watching Liverpool play. Do you know what I mean? So I can't say that for personal reasons. I can't enjoy watching them smack up teams. I respect them though. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not hating. It's just a personal thing. Leicester, I'm enjoying watching.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I'm enjoying watching Leicester at the moment. I'm actually enjoying watching West Ham at the moment as well. Actually, they got beat on the week, but I'm enjoying watching them, man. I'm enjoying like Yarmolenko, Felipe Anderson.
I like Cresswell as well. Cresswell's look good.
Cresswell's always been a good and Haller.
Yeah, Haller's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm enjoying them. I'm enjoying them teams.
And mine?
Yeah.
Mine would be Leicester. I'm impressed with Brendan Rodgers, man. Big time. They play good football, man. Leicester. I've always liked Wolves, how they play as well. Hungry team, man.
You like it. You enjoying watching Wolves?
Yeah. My third team. I ain't really got a third team, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not with
this season, the way it's going on, it's just all a little bit mad. Yeah.
Because I picked Norwich, and I picked Norwich for good and
for entertainment value. Yeah.
We have a third one.
All right, well, that's cool. Hope we answered your questions well enough. And then I believe that concludes this week's episode of Everyone's a Pundit. And this was episode 12. I hope that you've enjoyed. If you've stayed to this part here, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep telling you to hit the like button if you haven't done so already. I'm also going to tell you to hit that share and follow in your WhatsApp groups and on when it's coming out on the socials. Share it with your people, man. Just help us grow because I think we're giving out some really good content at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So, and we're getting a lot of positive feedback, and we're going to just keep trying to improve, get better, and keep pushing. So, man, it's a, peace from me, Pat.
Like, comment, share, subscribe. That's all I'm going to say.
Jason?
Yeah, you know the rest. Come on.
Come on, you know the rest. But you know what? Thanks again, people, man. and on the audio Soundcloud. Thank you for listening. Until next week, we are out. Peace.